Hey everybody, Tim and Miranda here for another episode, another review of Doctor Who. Story number 192, Utopia, Sound of Drums, and The Last of the Time Lords. I think this is the first three-parter.
Yeah, no, it is.
Which, coincidentally, granted, classic Doctor Who was 20 minutes apiece, so that would have been 6 episodes for a classic story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 6-part stories. There's even a 12-part story. And it's funny because if you watch those reviews of mine, I'm like, this is so long. I can't. It's so long.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
I'm not going to lie. This is too long for me. This is something I never thought I'd say.
Yeah.
So 3 episodes, it's too much. I don't know. I don't think, and realistically, the amount of story they cover, it could have just been 2. Didn't need to be 3.
Oh, I agree.
So I don't even know how to do this because I have so many notes. Right off the top is the 3-parter. What'd you think? The Return of the Master.
Again, like he said, it could have been a 2-parter. It wasn't bad. The whole idea of it and everything, the whole storyline wasn't bad, but they did drag it on a bit.
I will say, because I think each story has ended with at least a 2-parter.
Yeah.
And I would say I probably liked this 3-parter still probably more than the Dalek stories.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'll admit, so we'll just kind of go in order as always. I would say the first episode's actually my favorite, Utopia, where that's the one where they go to Cardiff, the riff in space, and we see Jack jump on the TARDIS.
Yes.
Which, for those who don't watch Torchwood, is an immediate connection to Torchwood. Because the last episode of season 1 is when we see him jumping onto the TARDIS.
Because he hears the TARDIS and just instantly starts running, leaves everybody else behind, and stuff.
Then it just flows right into this one. Probably my favorite part about this is Derek Jacobi, who is a great actor all the way. He's really famous for being in Shakespearean plays like Richard III, stuff like that. He was in Underworld, the second one, I believe. Dude's just in everything. He's great. He's a great actor. He plays Professor Yana, which, if you guys watched the Doctor Who special from 2001, 2003 or something, Scream of the Shaka, he played the Master in that, the android Master, which I think it's funny that Derek Jacobi played the Master in that, and David Tennant played a barkeeper, a cop or something. It's all animated, so it doesn't really matter.
Did we watch that one?
A little bit.
Okay.
But remember, I had to rewind it because I was like, that's David Tennant's voice right there. Because he literally has one line. And I was like, oh, that's David Tennant. I knew it. So it's kind of funny that they're meeting. My favorite part, and also made me feel personally attacked, was Captain Jack's whole thing in this one. Everybody he says hello to. Hello! Stop!
Don't.
And
Don't
I mean,
start.
That's realistically, as much as I hate to say it, that's kind of me. I just meet new people. I'm like, hi! Stop!
Don't flirt. Don't.
Some of my coworkers have actually taken polls. When I left for training for 3 weeks.
I feel like we should have done this.
My support manager at the time had hired somebody new who was this 22-year-old blonde skater boy. And everybody was like, how long do you think it's going to take Tim to say hi?
2 seconds.
All I did was walk past the cereal aisle, and I was like, hi! Are you new?
Sorry, Jordan.
Yeah, he doesn't watch it.
Yeah.
They brought up Rose. Who the fuck cares? I feel has it been every episode? I don't think it feels like every episode.
Not every episode, no.
Jack brings up how he has the Doctor's hand. It's still weird and creepy.
Well, no, because he just has it in his... Okay, because he just had it in his bag.
Is that my hand?
And they're, going through his bag, and the Doctor's like, is that my hand? Is that my hand? And Martha, who knows nothing about it, is like, how is that your hand if you have your hand?
Oh, what'd you do? Regrow it?
Hello?
I did.
Yes, I did.
So, stuff like that. I like Professor Yana's, assistant, where she starts every sentence with Chan and ends it with door. Do you have... Why do you have to end it with door? Chan, I just do door. And then I forgot what it was, but she's
it's a respect thing.
Yeah, but she's wait, how do you end a sentence? Chan door.
Yeah.
So, or something like that. But I was like, that's great. It's
and then
adorable.
She's like, can you just do it for me once and not say it?
Oh, and she giggles.
And she's like,
no.
And, like, instantly just starts giggling.
Because
And
it's like she
the
said a bad
cutest thing.
word.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love
It's
that.
adorable.
We find out that Rose is who made Jack immortal.
Yep.
Which I don't know if we knew that before.
I think it was insinuated before when she did bring him back to life in the Bad Wolf episodes.
Okay. But this is
but
like
not,
confirms
yes,
it.
This does confirm it.
That because we've seen him die numerous times in Torchwood, but we don't know like how long he's been immortal. So evidently he's only been immortal for like a year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting twist. You okay?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay. They bring back the stopwatch. I didn't like the two-parter. I don't like it in this one. I think it's interesting, but... And then we find the big twist of Yana, Professor. Professor Yana, Yana, you are not alone.
Yep.
Is fucking the face
master.
Of Bo's twist. Which, like, is it just a coincidence that the Master chose Yana as his name then? Like, it's just this cosmic coincidence?
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. That's what it is. And then, of course, once we find, like, when Derek Jacobi finds out he's the Master, I lose my shit. Like, it is a travesty. It is a goddamn travesty that man was not the Master in more episodes. Because he is amazing. Which he has done more of the radio plays. Like, you can find books on tapes and stuff. But... I don't know, the fact that he literally, it's like, because he's a big actor, the fact that he's only in this one episode and they instantly go to Saxton.
Oh yeah, they instantly, like, yes.
Like, I think it's just a disservice. Like, I think Derek Jacobi is so good.
I don't know why they did that. Why they...
Honestly, it's probably because Jacobi is expensive as fuck. Because he's so famous, he probably wanted too much money.
Don't be a whore, Jacobi.
But, I mean, he's great. He's such a good actor. And then this, to me, is instantly, like, I was on top of the world through this whole story. And then as soon as we got to part 2, I dropped. John Sims, I believe, is the Master. Or is the actor who plays the Master. I think his name is John Sims. I don't like him.
I don't really like him either.
I'm not a big fan. So we find out, like, the Master has gone back in time... and is posing as Harold Saxon. Not Saxton.
I did not know, you guys. So when we got to that episode and stuff, like, they had another poster, a Saxon poster. Mm-hmm. And this one over here is like, oh my God. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? And then they show him, I'm like,
Harold Saxon.
Oh, fuck.
They've literally been hinting the entire season.
Yes.
The whole season.
Which someone has told me, hey, pay attention to, and I didn't
so
really pay
what
attention
I
to
think
it,
is interesting, I had actually meant to like have this ready as a prop with your phone, but I forgot. But it doesn't matter. Torchwood, if you rearrange the words in Torchwood, you get Doctor Who. No, that's not what you're doing it wrong. It's okay.
Am I?
Yep. If you rearrange the words in Torchwood, you get Doctor Who. If you rearrange the words of Mr. Saxon,
yeah, that's not going to come up. Never mind.
You get Master number 6.
Really?
And if there were 2 masters that were decayed, but if you combine, like if you go to the Wikipedia page, it has a picture of all the masters. And if you combine the 2 decayed ones in one, because it was 2 different actors, but they're both obviously decaying, Mr. Saxon is the 6th master. Ooh. I don't know. Davies says that that's a coincidence, but whatever. Weird.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. The only thing I really did like about it is when Harold's talking and he's like, what this country needs is a doctor. That made me laugh. After that, I was like, okay. He can take my box any day. That was a little bit much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then as soon as it leaves it, so the Master over the years, granted he's changed a lot, but like he started out very like cold and calculating.
Yeah.
Like he was always about hypnotizing, and he had like I forgot
the drums.
No, like I'm talking like back in the 70s.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Because so the Master's been around since like the 70s, the 3rd Doctor.
Yeah.
And like he had this weird machine that would shrink people. And like he was just like this cold calculating murderer. And John Sim just plays him as being fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he is insane. And it doesn't work for me. Like, I like the Doctor more of like I like the Doctor to be eccentric, to be a little bit over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the Master to be much more like just kind of laid back and like,
yeah,
I'm gonna murder everybody. Like, there's no need for flair. There's no need for streams.
I mean,
I'm literally just gonna blow up the entire planet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of flair in this.
And
yeah,
John Sim plays it like, I'm going to turn the world into a disco ball.
Yeah, basically.
And it's too much for me. We find out they do name drop Torchwood a little bit, that Jack's team is busy. Yeah. We see the Master as a child a little bit. I don't know, the whole thing where he like puts the piece of the TARDIS on and helps them go unnoticed. Like, that's like, cut all that out.
Yeah,
like,
they could have.
Doesn't need it.
But I mean, it did kind of help with like more of the episode with Martha and everything, but that was really about it.
It does help, and I get it, but like, it's one of those like, it's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And if you chop it up, you could have gotten it too.
Yeah.
They name drop Unit a little bit. And there's a scene where the Master's talking to, I think it was his wife, and he offers her a jelly baby, which is a candy in Europe and Great Britain and stuff. It's like a gummy bear. Okay. But that goes all the way back to the 2nd Doctor, and the 4th Doctor specifically was very famous. Like, somebody's about to jump off a building to kill themselves, and he's like, would you like a jelly baby?
Oh, God.
He used it to, like, defuse situations.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But it actually goes back to the 2nd Doctor. So that's where that comes from. He has a laser screwdriver, which is so much better than Sonic. No, he kills the president, which I was like, wow, like, they're going dark.
A bit much.
A little much. They bring up the Lazarus episode, which who the fuck cares? And then they made the Doctor 100 years older.
Yeah.
Why?
That was fun.
Like, I don't get it. Like, once they, so he goes 100 years older, and it's like, okay. And I think that's the scene where they're pushing him in the wheelchair and he's singing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, why?
But, like, what was the point of that? Like, were they, like, it didn't make any sense to me specifically. I don't, because, like, with the regeneration and stuff, like, technically, if you just make him older and keep making him older,
he's gonna die at some point.
Exactly, and regenerate.
Yeah, no.
So, what was the point of that?
They kill 1/10 of the world, the episode's over. Okay. Going on to the 3rd and final episode. Like I said, at this point, I was so done with this, I didn't care. Tom Milligan, a.k.a. Luther, who I've never seen that show. Everybody tells me to watch it. Season 5 just came out. So, I don't know, maybe we'll watch it. We're not really coming to the end of Doctor Who, but the way we binge shows, we should have something lined up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe it's Luther. And this is where we get the CGI old Doctor. I'm stuck in the British accent now. It's the old Doctor.
Like, it reminded me of Benjamin Button.
It's just dumb.
It really did.
He looked dumb, and the whole thing, like him being in the little cage
with the big ass fucking eyes, like,
it didn't even make me sad. Like, it made me sad I was watching it because it was so dumb. I couldn't just cut the whole thing out. We find out that all the little orb things are the humans from Utopia. Okay, which, it's a good twist.
I mean, I guess so, but it was also kind of dumb because, like, okay, so here's the thing. Because technically, if the Doctor and Martha save them and stuff, and the Master comes, but he's fucking up Martha and the Doctor's life, like, how would they not have common sense to be like, oh, but really, these are the people that saved me, not this asshole?
I don't know. The whole thing. Which even then from the future, like, we're binging this hardcore, multiple episodes a day. That being said, like, can you imagine waiting 2 weeks?
Oh, no.
I would have been like, wait a minute.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah. So,
I would have been pissed.
So, yeah, the whole thing. And then, like, again, I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I have tattoos of Dragon Ball Z. Like, you have no idea. Big fan. When they're all like, everybody think the word Doctor, and that will make him younger. I was like, so it's a spirit bomb? Like, what's going on? How is thinking the word Doctor going to de-age him?
What? I don't think it was the de-age him part. I think it was because they're not focused on the master anymore. They're not focused on like what he was doing with
but
the
he's
drums
not.
and
He doesn't
stuff.
get his power.
I
mean, he's like hypnotizing.
Like it takes like his stuff away and like gives it back to the doctor. Like that's the doctor's way of hypnotizing the world.
He was aged.
Yeah, I know.
So he was de-aged.
So I guess more of a slight regeneration.
Fuck that.
Okay. I tried, you guys. I tried.
It's dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure, I don't care, because I'm not getting paid for this. But if I was a writer for it, you could have come up with him being in, like, a prison, like a mental prison, or something, where now people aren't thinking of the doctor, or people aren't thinking of the master, they're thinking of the doctor, and he can break out of the mental prison. It's a stretch, but I could get behind that. Yeah. But the fact that he literally aged the doctor, physically aged the doctor.
Yeah.
If you're 87 years old and I'm like, Miranda, you're not fucking gonna go back in time.
You better make me younger.
Yeah, but you're not just gonna change. So I don't know. I didn't like it. Didn't make me sense. Oh, and then he gets shot by his wife. Wait, does he get shot by his wife?
Yeah, the master does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, or did he get shot by Mrs.
Shit. No. Yeah.
And then he refuses to regenerate.
Because
fucking deal.
Because Martha's mom wants to shoot him, and is about to shoot him and stuff, and they're like, no, don't do it. And then his wife shoots him.
Fucking stupid. So my big problem with the master. Spoilers for you. Again, like I said, the doctor or the master has gone around since the third Doctor.
Yeah.
We have seen him regenerate multiple times as well.
Yep.
And we've seen him, like, he's at the end of his regeneration cycle. So we'll give him a new regeneration cycle. Oh, he's just going to take over the human, this other person's body. And just live in their body. Yeah. The Master has been blown up. He's been incinerated. The Master cannot die. So as soon as he's like, oh, he won't regenerate, he's going to die. And then we see, like, David Tennant light him on fire. I was like, he's going to come back. Because they cannot kill the Master. It's fucking stupid. It's almost like, granted...
It doesn't make any sense, though. Like,
so, granted, it was like the 70s and the 80s, and, like, you couldn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, how long does it take to get off a fucking island? Looking at you, Gilligan. But still, like, you couldn't kill anybody. But, like, the Master would die and then instantly come... Like, he was like a comic book character.
Gotcha.
But, I don't know. This was too much. And then it just gets worse from here, where... I don't even fucking care. I'm not going to build it up. Jack is the face of Bo.
Weird.
Eat a dick. I was so mad. It was the dumbest fucking twist of all time. So many people are like, that's cool. No. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking lazy writing, and it pissed me off. Go ahead. You talk about Jack being the face. I didn't like it.
I'm just laughing.
Irritated the fuck out of me.
Of your response to this. That's really it.
It didn't need to be necessary.
Okay, I get it. It is lazy writing. I understand.
Was not necessary. I choose not to accept it, personally.
It was necessary. But it does make for a kind of good twist. Now that we know that he can't die and everything.
Don't you die on me, you big old face!
Yes.
No. Do not want. Don't like it.
But it does make, like... Which did actually, it kind of upset me because in the previous episode when he's like, oh, you're not alone. And that was like the last thing. Like you would think that he would, I don't know,
remember
this whole,
the doctor?
I guess so.
But he is like 5 billion years old or something at that point. So,
yeah,
I don't know. So. But then...
It was just a little weird.
You go back to the other episode where it's like the face of Bo is pregnant. So does Jack have kids out there? Like
Hell yes, he does.
Well, yeah, he's a horny devil.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe that's the Torchwood episode.
The one where it's raining and he's like, "Oh, I'm never getting pregnant again." Like, I don't know. It just irritated me. It felt like the stupid, like, little jokey cop out to me. I didn't like it. So, and then Martha leaves, which I was really kind of sad about. I like Martha.
I do like Martha too.
I wouldn't say I love Martha, but I
don't love
liked
Martha, but I do like Martha.
Only because the entire season is her being lovesick.
Yeah, but this
him chasing
like,
Rose.
Actually, like this last episode, like really showed like who she like was and stuff. And like I feel like they should have done a couple more episodes with her after this one, just to be like, hey, she's a badass in these 3 episodes. Let's keep going a little bit to show that she's not just a lovesick like puppy dog.
Agreed. Liked it. And then the giant shipwreck at the end to kind of throw us forward. But yeah, that's it. That's like the longest review ever. 3 episodes. What do you expect? I don't know. Overall, I loved, out of this 3-parter, when it was good, it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Jacoby. I love a lot of the end of the world type thing. Especially, it's a little overplayed. I've talked about it in other stuff, like Transformers, superheroes. You pick a genre, and they're like, humans just find a way to keep hanging on. Especially like Transformers, where they're like, you learn more in your 80 years of existence than I know in my million years. Fuck off. But this is one of those where we're literally at the end of the universe and humans are still hanging on, and the Doctor's like, look at you.
Yep.
So I did really like the end of the universe with Professor Yana, stuff like that. Parts of the Master, of John Sims' Master, I didn't mind. It's when he's over the top. Like him pushing the Doctor in the wheelchair, singing, like dancing, and stuff like that. It's too much for me.
And then he keeps making him older.
And then, it just slowly fades for me. Like, I loved it and I hated it, and it just kind of averaged out to being okay. Closing thoughts? Like, this is your first meeting of the Master.
Yeah.
So this is like my 6th Master, because this is Master number 6.
I feel like they should have left him as Jacoby. Like, I don't like him as
John Sim.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you don't know who comes next.
No.
So, okay.
Hopefully he's not as douchey.
No comment.
Or it's a woman.
No comment. We actually see a couple Masters to get to the present. Not really a spoiler, but... Okay. So for those who have seen it, go ahead, let us know. Like I said, the first 3-parter, to me it was rough. Did not need to be a 3-parter. I could be wrong. This might be the only 3-parter, for good reason. So for those who have seen it, go ahead, let us know. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time for Voyage of the Damned.